Okay. I don't think there is any startup stuff to this, so I'm just gonna get right into it. I do want to see one thing, so don't let me distract you too much. But I'm gonna take this and put it over here. That way I can check out my own live stream. If it is streaming to where I think it's supposed to, which is an interesting thing to find out. We learning every day. That's all I can really say. So I have my stream right here. Ah, okay. Oop, that's loud. I want an echo in there. No. To me, it looks fresh. It looks fresh. Okay, let's just get straight into there. As you can see my tabs, I'm creating a feedback loop, I think. 1 second, let me actually... I can hear my own voice, but you guys can't hear You guys can't hear me hearing my own voice. At least I don't think so, so I'm turning it off either way. Just so to see what I sound like. With the auto quality, which is pretty good actually. HyperX, very nice. Either way, we're getting some TTRPG curation stuff. This is Crucible, so if you haven't heard of it, don't worry about it. We're not going to focus on the TTRPG system at all. I'm actually just going to start creating content. And, you know, if you have any kind of feedback to throw at me, be like, hey, that doesn't sound like a good idea, go ahead. Or leave it in the comments after the video is uploaded to YouTube. I am just trying to create a story because I want to test out this system. It is pretty cool. It's classless, but, you know, I won't go into everything over there. And the way you create monsters is very unique. I'm mostly a Pathfinder player, or GM, I guess you'd call it. I enjoy that system a lot, although I do like to try some new stuff every once in a while. I'm looking at also the D20 system, or from the... I forget his name. I think he's a YouTuber, but he looks like he's doing good. I'm not a fan of the system that much because it was crunchier. Now it's being less crunchy. I actually do like crunchy. Crucible's kind of crunchy. Pathfinder's kind of crunchy. I'm kind of fine with them. D&D can be crunchy. But no, either way. So let's begin. I, right now, am looking for the... 1 second. To find out what to do next. So let's go over what I have currently. The Never-Ending Quest is the name. I have a Goblin Cave. I'm already rewriting how this works in what I have currently for this huge Goblin Cave. I tested out running it with a friend who was using their token to travel throughout the entire cave. And it gets a little bit... I do not recommend. I was just trying it out, see if it would be fun after coming back to it for a long time. Is taking your time, like a video game, traveling through the cave, moving your token, with the course explorer activities that I'm taking from Pathfinder, because Crucibles don't have them yet, where I assign a character to be doing something as they're passively or actively moving throughout something, and his was basically searching for traps. And it could be something like defending, constantly holding your shield up, searching. It could be investigating the terrain and just everything. Because searching and investigating are technically different, and I don't like how they're different, but they are in Pathfinder, so I'm doing it here. Where searching is actively looking out for essentially hazards and creatures, while investigating is more so looking at the surrounding and trying to gather information from that. Like, what are these walls made out of? Maybe symbols you find. You can actively read them immediately. Although, if someone were to see symbols, I would just, like, instantaneously, if they're using one of the search actions or something, I'd just transfer them over to that real quick to make them roll, then transfer them back to the search action. Investigation's a weird one. Honestly, just combine them all into the search action is how I would have done it, but I didn't make the game. And yeah, he was moving throughout this entire thing. I have invisible trap areas where he'd be rolling to see if he's seen them, and then passing through them depending on what he rolled. You have to roll a reflex save because you might not see all the traps. There's 2 encounters with the scout, which you'd have to roll a search action to see if he's seen them before they moved on all the way through their secret tunnels to the scout camp, blah, blah, blah. Many different things. But in the end, I don't think letting him move manually through all this was a good idea. So I've already transformed it, or going to. Visually, I cannot, but in my notes I have, which is I'm just setting up scenarios. Scenario A is the entrance scouts and how he handles them and these traps. Scenario B would be the scout camp and how they'll handle that. Then rally point, and then another scenario would be the goblin main village or the prisoners. And like, is he going to attack the village first? Is he going to sneak back and try to rescue the prisoners first, with consequences and outcomes differing between the choices he makes. And of course, it's all, what do you call it? It's all improv. Like, I don't write many notes for this stuff. It's all improv. So many outcomes can happen between any of these scenarios. I'm just waiting to see what they do and react how the world would react. And eventually have to take on the boss, which is just an ogre. That's the essential idea for this. I've kind of pretty much already finished this, so we're not going to be working on this today specifically. And I've nearly finished the crypts as well, which is the second part. There are enemies taken everywhere. There are some notes I leave around. Mechanics are already kind of explained in my notes of how these vials work and what you can use them for. There's these statues all have uses for vials, which do different things. And this will also be something that I don't think I'll work on. I think I already placed all the enemies I want in the dungeon. All these zombies, ghouls, undead soldiers, skeletal hulks, which I don't know if I can show the art. No, so I have to bring it up. Hulking zombies, I guess you'll call them. Got all that done. I'll probably have to place a few traps in here, but I'm not interested in doing that on stream right now. I think that'd be pretty boring. So I won't be placing traps on screen. Right now, there's also the Deep Below. I haven't had any maps for this, neither the town nor the meeting with the king. It's called the Never Ending Campaign because there's gonna be constant running through. So let's talk about creation. How this is gonna work. So the vision is after the goblins, they're gonna discover a giant hole that leads down to this crypt. After a while, the hole is gonna be plugged in. They might be trapped down here, so they're gonna have to find a way to the surface. So that's the Deep Below. They're gonna have to find a way through the Deep Below, which is the Underdark in my homebrew world. But it's gonna be getting back to the surface. So let's focus on that. The Deep Below. Let's think of some scenarios, and the best way to do that would be to, let me bring it up. I have many notes in my entire lore, but let's go to one-shots. And did I make the file yet? Where is my one-shot stuff? I have not, but I'm going to borrow this template. It's not the best template. You know what? Actually, I take that back. I'm going to make a whole new book for this. Never ending campaign. And I don't think I will have a RPG placed in the front of this title, so I'm just going to go ahead and create it. Actually, I did not like how I created it in the OneDrive, but oh well. No. Okay, now I will take my adventuring template and go to basic template. No, that's not it. I want the adventuring template. Yes, I will copy all of this. Bring it into the Never Ending Campaign. Paste it. And let's get started. Adventure. This will only be for the... How do I help with this? I could just make it smaller. Okay. So this will be for the... Let's put it over here. The Deep Below only, which I need to stop clicking on that. So This is going to be a design for the deep below. So let's set up things we have. Terrain. This is basically going to be the Underdark for simple wording / deep below. If I can spell. Reoccurring NPCs. I don't think there will be any here. Well, there will be new NPCs, but no reoccurring ones, or maybe there will be. I'm thinking about how they will pay for items and buy items as I drop my tissue box. So I've been thinking about adding this reoccurring merchant that kind of just appears. I don't know if I'm going to connect it to the story or just kind of be a thing that players will just run into. If I connect it to via the story, it'd probably be some kind of fate merchant, perhaps. But my world's not super magical and mystical, my homebrewed world, so I don't want to add like random stuff that they would typically not see anywhere else in the world. Although it is a campaign, there are players, make them super rare, super awesome. That's what I usually do. So let's type in merchant question mark. I also have an idea of a Nothic being here that isn't a villain. So question mark. Where do they last appear? Probably after Goblin. I can't. Did I not spell Goblin? Goblin quest in village. When they return. I'm not the best at spelling, and I'm probably not going to care about spelling too much. No. Character goals. So this is character progression PC goals. Probably not. I do not know yet. So let's leave that a question mark. Short term. Yeah, let's leave all that. 5-piece dungeon. We'll come back to that later. Creatures. I already got them in the deep below. They have Cavern Crawler, which is inspiration from the Carrion Crawler from D&D. Gargoyles. Nothic, which is a D&D monster as well. And Exorn, which is not a specifically a D&D monster, but that's the only place I know them at. Gotta blow my nose real quick. There we go. Next well, that's gonna be something else. So let's just focus on the deep below. Bring that back up. So escalation, let's just type it out after exiting the undead crypt. Players need to find a way to the surface, making their way into the deep below to find a tunnel to the light. Oh, that's a little too weird. To find a path back up. Okay. So, the things they're going to run into, I have fully not known. I was thinking about adding some deep dwarfs here as well. Perhaps I could, as like a small band of deep dwarves that aren't particularly evil, but ooh, hard to say. So let's assume I do. So players run into a small group of deep dwarfs who are, what if they're running from something? That's why they'd be more friendly. Who are on the run from a creature, hunting them down. Deep dwarves, in my opinion, are usually evil and probably not the greatest. And I don't even know if in my homebrewed world yet, officially in Pathfinder, deep dwarves exist, but I think they do. Creatures are hunting them down. They are unfriendly, but don't want to attack non-hostiles. Okay, players run into a small group of deep dwarves who are on the run. What's hunting them? I think I already got a monster for this. Now it's probably going to be the gargoyle. That seems like the best choice for this. They're pretty strong as they are. They're very dangerous, and I think I'm gonna have one or two of them in the fight because the players are gonna be whew, level 4 or level 5 by the time they fight these. I want the boss to be the Zorn of this level, so they're probably gonna be level 4, and then reach level 5 after defeating the Zorn. So it'd probably do something like that, which I think is fair. And the Zorn's AC is actually really low. I'm gonna have to. What if I can find something real quick? Sorry, I know this isn't part of the creation kit, but let's look at natural armor. Let's see what this looks like on him. From 10 to 16. I think that's fine. It makes more sense he's an earth guy. Is this considered heavy armor? It is, which I'd say makes more sense. I should probably then add the bulky bulwark. Is this what I'm thinking of? No. There's a skill. 1 second. Give me 5 seconds. What is it called? Bulky, bulk, strong. Hefty, strong. Oh well, I'll look for it later. It's to prevent initiatives from being low because of heavy armor. Heavy armor affects initiative in this game. Either way, don't think it really matters right now unless you have it. No, okay. Wait, is this heavy armor? That's natural armor. Interesting. Okay. So, gargoyles are probably going to be the choice. So, let's say the dwarves are being hunted by 2 gargoyles. Yeah. Being hunted by 2 gargoyles. And can't outpace them. That's nice, spell outpace. Gargoyles can outpace them. They will ask the players in exchange for a way to the surface to defeat the monsters. There. I think that's could be a easy plot. I think that is fine. Now, how do we get the players from accepting this to the gargoyles without just having the gargoyles show up and start fighting? We need to have them go find the gargoyles. Let's say the deep dwarves chained. What's the word? How would the detours escape the gargoyles without them being on their tail and have enough time for the players to prepare, set out to defeat the gargoyles, with the gargoyles being relatively close, but also not close enough where they're an immediate threat, and maybe they run into something else first? Good question. Let's say players run into a small group of gargoyles who are on the run from a creature hunting them down and got stuck at a dead end where the players come from another direction, hidden, but now trapped with the dwarves. Okay. So let's say they come from the crypts, which is a previously unknown direction. Or maybe they didn't know it was a dead end and the players have to tell them it's a dead end. Yeah. Okay. I think that's better. So we run into a group of small dwarves who are on the run from creatures hunting them down. And we're heading where the players came from to seek a way out. If there is, if I don't think I need to write any more than that, to be honest. I think I can just kind of improvise it that, hey, I don't need to write down the players tell them that there's no way out, then, you know. Players can come from seek a way out. With no way out, the dwarves will ask for help. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what I always say. Let's go ahead and make that a capital. Return it back to where they are. Make this, or to be hunted by gargoyles in exchange for for a way to the surface to defeat the monster. They will ask the players in exchange for a way to the surface, defeat the monsters, and help them escape. There. Now, on the hunt. Players hunt down the monsters throughout the tunnels. Also going to write down the deep dwarves left a couple of their companions tied up in a previous camp as a distraction. Find it and defeat the monsters. That's what they'll tell them. On a hunt, players hunt down the monsters throughout the tunnels. They will run into a small pack of crawlers and meet the merchant not too far. See, this is all going to be improvised. I don't need to write down specific instructions. Not too long after. Oh, wait, no. I got an idea. They'll meet the merchant at the abandoned deep dwarf camp. There they can track the gargoyles. There. After defeat the monsters, the dwarves will send them on a path to the surface. On the way to surface, they will fight. Actually, I could just do a speak, couldn't I? I've been meaning to do that for a while. Let me see if I can try it. Where is it? Is it insert? Home. Maybe I've been blind my entire life and I just misremembering where it was. It's somewhere on here. But now the idea is slowly leaving my head. Because I have extreme amounts of ADHD and I'm just like, huh. Maybe? Yep, I just forgot. Okay. Let's just keep typing. On the way to the surface, they face a Zorn who is angry about the it's the overall plot from what I have kind of gisted from this campaign is that the environment is being destroyed and these monsters are kind of not liking it. I kind of want to try to hint that towards earlier parts of the game. I don't know how I'd do that, but I'm probably gonna figure it out. Sorry, a big yawn coming. Apparently, I'm gonna hold it back for you guys' sake. Uh, yeah. So the environment's very angry. Zorn is the boss of this lair because Zorns actually value precious gems and other things. They're an earth elemental, essentially. So them being angry about things being taken away from their environment deep underground would be kind of a necessary thing. Who's angry about the mining operations going on throughout the region. Region. How do I spell region? Region? That's not how you spell region. Oh, I'm an idiot. At the dictionary. I think that's good. And I could probably go back and put some stuff in the goblin area to kind of insinuate the same thing, that something's going on. This area is a dwarven kingdom, so there's a lot of mining operations going on. And the overall villain of the campaign is going to be Elemental Rift. It's going to be this guy, who is basically a being in itself, but one that is angry about the regions. You'd call it decimation. I might change this to some kind of earth elemental, perhaps. I am unsure. I'll have to look into it more. But right now, it's a storm elemental. It's going to bring upon the disaster over the kingdom because of its destruction of the environment, or a little bit of a over consumption of the environment, I guess you could say. We'll figure it out. Okay. But I should probably definitely hint that earlier. I think the Undead Crypt is going to be separate. Oh. Going to be separate from my idea, but the Goblin Cave will probably hint a little bit towards it. Perhaps I might put some monsters there that are more talkative instead of killy. And here you'll definitely have some interaction with that kind of stuff. The dragon probably have the same thing, except I think instead of the dwarves doing it, it'll be the goblins or the kobolds that are actually the ones destroying the environment. And then Elemental Rift, I gotta think of some elemental monsters besides just this guy. But yeah, I love the art, by the way. This is from Pathfinder. It's the Horned Dragon. It's very similar to the Green Dragon, but has different lore, stuff like that. There's so many different dragons in Pathfinder. But I think this dragon is kind of really cool. I don't even know how you show art in this game. There we go. Orange dragon. Very scaly looking for a grass type dragon. Okay. Actually, 1 second. 11? Oh, that has man, has almost double the HP. It's only 2 levels higher. Interesting. I think young dragons are actually supposed to be 5, like 9. If I remember my game correctly. That should be a little bit better. 9, and then I think 12. Based off the statistics of a drake, I think it should probably follow the same kind of pattern as a dragon. So an Ultra Drake is 9, which is about what I'd think a young dragon is. Drake is size 6, that's size 9. And I want this creature to be about the size of... It's at 14. Did I put it at 14? Perhaps I did. So we'll keep it at 14. The one thing about this system, again, I'm getting into the system, sorry, is that the size changes HP pool. So the bigger the creature, the more HP. I'm not sure if I entirely like that, actually. It does seem a little weird. When you want to make a tough monster that's small, it won't work out that much unless perhaps you increase the AC. But AC's different in this game because plate armor can make you 18 right off the bat, plus a shield to make you 20, essentially. So it's hard for me to believe that a dragon wouldn't have more armor than a basic human character, but that's basically what a dragon should have. I can maybe increase it to 18, but still kind of seems weird. But it can't go too high in this game because how you attack is 3d8. So at most you'll ever have is rolling a 24 plus boons, which would increase your die size to 3d12 or 3d10. So all statistically different things that I'm going to try not to talk about again. Actually, but you know what? I take that back. I'm going to talk about it. I like the system. I like trying something new. On the way to the surface, going throughout the region. The ground is being... What's the word for when your environment's being eroded? I want to say eroded, but that doesn't seem like the right word. Eroded? I actually don't know how to spell eroded. There we go. Eroded. And all the valuable ores are being taken and used by the surface dwarves by everyone. All the ores are being used by a obsessive amount. An excessive amount, apparently. Okay. There you go. They might be able to talk their way out of that fight. That's up to them. So I think we got the idea of what's going to be happening after we ended Crypt. So we need to make a couple things now that we got our plot out. Let's go ahead and open up my favorite map making tool, Dungeon Draft. So let me pull that over. Bam. Let's make a 50 by 50 is probably fine. Actually, no, not Dungeon Draft. We don't want a battle map yet. Let me put that down. We want Incarnate. This is what I've been waiting for. It's been a while since I've done Incarnate. Never-ending quest. Let's go ahead and create a new map. We are going to do a certain kind of scene. Let me just move my face a little bit closer. Certain kind of scene, and I think battle map might be the best fit for this, but fantasy regional also probably be pretty good for this. I want to kind of make it a small camp outpost for the deep dwarves, where they'll be located. The players can return to if needed. Well, maybe I don't need it because it's not going to be there long term. If I was going to do something like this, it'd probably be for the upcoming war we're about to have in my other campaigns, Warrens of Gosha. So maybe I just go straight to the battle map and we go back to Dungeon Draft. Or I could create... I like map visual representations. I don't want to make it take too long to do such things, but it is kind of nice. So, because then you can help plan out further of what you're going to do for this entire quest. Because what I've written down right now is not the only thing I'm going to be adding. I'm going to think on it for weeks. Then I'm probably going to re-add more things. Perhaps there's another faction down there. Perhaps there are different creatures like Zugaloths, which are like lizard folk of the underground. But not really, because Zugaloths are... They're reptile in nature, but they're interesting. They're actually the main villain of War and Negotia for now. I guess main villain's not the right word. Oh, what's it? 1 second there. My shirt looks a little weird. Why is it like that? That looked very weird. What the hell? Never mind. I can't say that. Oh no, I can't. My little tie thing right here. I don't know how to show it to you. This thing was just slinking back into the fabric like this, and it's just hiding in there like foreskin. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, let's hold off on this. Let's go back to the battle maps. Okay, we need to let's make the obvious right now, 50 by 50. Don't need a wizard map. We're going to make the dwarven camp that they were previously at. Best way to do that is to add a couple things we're going to be using in the camp into the dungeon draft map. Once it loads, I got a lot of assets. Apparently it says computing useless data. I don't think it's useless. I think they got a lot of cool data. Okay, this is a map we're working with. Let's go ahead and... I really don't like adding my own stuff now that I think about it. So let's do it like this. See, the dungeon draft's weird, especially for Crucibles. If this was Pathfinder, I'd probably make it in here. But Crucibles is really weird with their maps. And I can't exactly get it always right. So, not enough experience. We are just going to go back to Foundry. We are going to type in the deep below scenes. Let's say abandoned camp. Abandoned dwarf camp. There. I like to have my grid size pretty big, so let's go 5K. I think that is fine. As a burp, percentage padding. I want global illumination on, and that should be good enough. Okay, there we go. We have our little box. Let's make it a little bit more palatable for the eyes. I just have a problem with color at the background sometimes. There. Oh, maybe a little bit too much. Oop. My eyes are very sensitive. There you go. Okay, let's go ahead and add the background texture for the ground. I have my own huge amount of things for this. What about terrain, actually? I don't think terrain's a good idea because I think that's more like cliffs and stuff than the ground itself. You want textures. Natural textures, probably want some kind of rock. And let's see. For the deep underground, perhaps, nope, too rocky. Too rocky. Too rocky. No. That looks a little bit too... that looks... I like that. Let's keep that for a second. No, too plasticky, too plasticky. I could also deal with that. Too terrainy. I want more flat looking ground. Let's keep that for a second. We can always change the color. And this is probably too rocky as well. Yeah, too rocky. Looking for smooth terrain. Ooh, we like this too. But this, I think, is just a colored version of that. But let's see. Let's change the appearance. Oof. Too dark. Come on, we're going to keep changing your appearance into a little bit brighter. Not bad. Come on. A little bit more. A little bit less. Okay, I think I like that. I like that color a lot. Okay, we're going to start with that. Okay, also, how big is this map so far? Let me get rid of all this. Let's put a regular human down. Yes, that's how big a human is. This map's definitely a little bit too big, which I think is fine. Because we will add it later. So, how big is this? This is about 40 feet, 80 feet. A camp being 100 by 100, I think that's fine. I don't see a problem with that. So if we were to do this... There. And then there. Looks perfect. I think that is a perfect size for a camp. Let's go ahead and copy and paste that. Move that towards the middle. And then let's shrink the map that way to save on size. So we could probably cut this to 4. What changes? Okay. I'm going to try to cut it down to 3. Three looks perfect. Oop. Back up. I could possibly even cut it down to 2. Okay, let's do this. So we need probably 250. There. This looks perfect. Okay, actually I can do a little bit more. I don't like how that little bit of edge there. I'm gonna fix it up for myself. So I actually don't know how many pixels each of these are. Let's just knock it down to 4. And pray. Oof. Oh wait, no, that might have worked. Come on. Damn it, I keep moving over it. 1 too much. Perfect. Perfect square map. Okay. And that is only about 100 feet, which I'm fine with. So now let's start putting actual stuff in here. So what I like to do is I like to get rid of all this. Tabs. Also, this guy, if you don't know who this is, go look at him. Bricks and minifigs, we steal from old people. Pretty good video. Actually, my cholesterol was super high watching his video of just how bad things are for this dude and how corrupt the system is in this one area. It is terrible. Go look at this. I'm actually probably gonna buy my own shirt. I don't know if I'm gonna buy this one, or wait for the one that I want the most, which he had in his video. Not sure if. Oh god, that's loud. Sorry, dude. Let me turn you down. Where is the shirt? The shirt's not here. It's very bad going on. I'm just gonna keep that tab on there just to remind you what it's called. I'm gonna buy my own shirt soon. Now I need to find Forge and put that over here because I don't think I am willing to share that. Actually, no, maybe I am. Let's put this over here. So this is all my stuff. I'm going to search for specific things. Right now, I need tents. Search for tents, get tents. Not the kind of tents I don't. Oh, there we go. Here's some tents. But say not the kind of tents I want, not tentacles. This looks like a good one right here. I can tab back to here. Get rid of that. Put my own thing in, and it'll find the area for me. That way I don't have to go searching for it. Let's go ahead and lock all this in. Lock. Now let's get some tents in here. Durgar. What kind of tents do they have for a Durgar? Probably just the regular hide ones, so we'll go with that. Let's throw a couple out here that are correct size. Let's do 100. 100 looks perfect, actually. Let's throw a couple out. There we go. Going to be using those. Probably going to be using campfires as well, so let's go ahead. Campfire. Copy that link. Get rid of you. Paste my own. Oh, these are the animated campfires too. Interesting. Do I even want these? I actually don't want these. I want the regular campfires. 1 second. Here we go. This is where they're at. There we go. So let's throw a couple out, completely gone, and probably none that's actually lit. Yeah, probably none that's actually lit. Next, we need corpses of some kind. Now, I can either make my own and put them out as tokens just dead. Like if I were to do this. Oh. I think I could do this. Something like that. Probably sounds like a good idea, but right now we need blood. Whoops, wrong tab. Free advertisement. Blood. This is the kind of tab I need. Oh. So let's write some blood. And I don't want to spend too much time on this. This is not the kind of blood, actually. But I know where my blood is. I've used it so much, I know exactly where it is. There. Let's throw some stuff out. I'll use later. And corpses, let's see if they have any kind that I'd actually use. None for this kind of scenario. Would they have any horses? Probably not. Okay. Corpses, tents, fireplace. We need supplies. I think I'll have to find that manually as well. But not fear. I'm very good at that. Decor, clutter, books. We just want random supplies. Is there a way to do that? Probably not, but I can just throw out some things, perhaps. Adventuring gear. There we go. That's what I wanted. Backpacks. We'll throw backpacks out. Bags. Don't really need no bags. Bedrolls. Throw a couple of these out. Water skins. Water skins. We'll throw out one. And that is good there. We need weapons. That's what we definitely need. So let's go to combat. Weapons. They are probably more of a hammer people. Blunt. Hammers. Smell out small ones and large ones. Let's get some maces in there. And let's get some crossbows. Oh my god, these crossbows are huge. There we go, that's better. Let's say this crossbow's huge! And why not a dagger? Special? Oh wait, there's probably... Yeah. Well, wait, no. They should only have 2 companions left. Let's say they were in a hurry and they ran away. Training dummies, weapons, siege weapons, cannonballs, barricades. We'll say they had a couple barricades up. Small one and a big one for myself. Flora, furniture, gore, light source. I don't think they have any light source. Natural decor. Gonna need some rocks here. Not boulders specifically, but rocks. Difference is rocks are very nicely shaped, and I can reuse them for a multitude of things. So let's just throw out a bunch here, and I can place them around the map later. There, that should be enough. And what else? So we got rocks, kind of envisioning my own head, how this looks, some tents, some stuff like that, barricades. Why are you highlighted? Oh. I think this is a fine amount. This map might be even a little bit too big now that I'm looking at the full size, but I think that is fine. What else do they have? I don't think I have watchtowers, but I guess I'll find out. Guard. Guards, Spirit Guardian. Some art that is definitely AI that I probably got from some kind of pack. Let's see. Desert guards. I think this is all guards. That is from Bestiaries. Very good module for Pathfinder. So let's look at tower then. Probably some kind of tower. This is from... This is probably like Wizard Towers. Yes, I was thinking. This is structure, old modular, wizard towers, wizard towers, wizard tower, wizard, 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 wizard. Actually, don't know. Ooh, here we go. Oh, I just blew out my headphones. Unfortunately. Let me plug up my phone. Oh, sorry. I had to text someone who just called me. My headphones just blew out my ears. Ooh, I'm actually gonna take this out just in case he calls back. Ooh, that hurt my ears. I am not. I'm very sensitive to loud sounds. Surprisingly. Uh, call you back later. Okay. So we have towers like this. I'm fine with stuff like this. Well, I don't care. You know, they're gonna. Oh, man, they had time to build a tower. Yes, yes, they did. I like towers. Now, what's the difference between these two? Go with this. Okay, they have one tower. Is there any like shoot? I don't. I need to see if I can find some army tokens. I think that'd be really nice for something like this, or some army barricades. So what if I do barricade? I actually don't know how to spell barricades. 1 second. Barricade. Yeah, spell it right that time. Barricades. Yeah, that's what I kind of expected. Not really anything much here. Okay, we're fine with this. I can make my own with some other stuff later if I need to. Barricades. So let's say now we can actually go to the original thing I picked up in front of you guys. Said we were gonna use probably later. Terrain. Since the deep below, especially the first layer of the deep below, is called the labyrinth layer, which is full of many different cave systems and tunnels that are just kind of hard to navigate naturally, at least in my homeworld world. So we are going to build modular caves. Now, if I remember correctly, I did have a very fan favorite kind of caves to build, but let me see if I can find it. I don't think this is it. No. These are more like cliffs. I need cave walls. So let's see if we can find something like that. Cave. Oh, this is river stuff, which could be useful later. Terrain, old lakes, river caves, spear cave, retired cave, modular caves, terrain. This is probably the best, I would assume. Yeah, let's look at it. We were just there. Maybe not cliffs, but just modular caves. There's no different colors for them, unfortunately, but that will have to do. Have to figure out what would be the top. So that's the top. Let's start building our modular cave. That way we can start cutting some of the fat around this. Come here. I don't like how the turning works in this too much. There we go. Well, that doesn't make no sense, that direction. This would not make sense either. There we go. Damn it, I hate how you have to focus on this part to even grab it and turn it. Not how they should do things, in my opinion. Okay. We'll have a entrance here, here, and possibly here. They'll come from probably up here. So let's make a entrance right here. And bam, I think that is fine. We will make it work. Damn it, just let me select it. May not look the greatest, but it is indeed my cave. And I will make it work. Doesn't look too bad. May not look the best, but it is mine. Especially with that little bit of shadow kind of coming from. I don't like how it has a shadow. Wonder if there's a version that doesn't. But, oh well. It shouldn't matter too much. I don't think players are that picky. And let's go with something like this. There, we're trimming that fat down. Oh, I see my problem. It's not really that big of a problem. But as you see, this is not facing the right way, so I'd probably need to do something like this. There we go. And let's grab just one of these pieces. There we go, and add a tiny bit more. Oop. I've done map making for a long time, so I feel like I'm decently fast. There. We have our 3 entrances. We're good for that. Let's go ahead and start making the camp. To do that, we are just going to say we're going to have 2 of these. One right there. One probably down here, facing opposite of into each other. We'll get 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Delete that. We'll get a couple of these around the camp. Probably 2 for each of the 4. I want to turn you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get rid of you. Let's start changing these guys' direction so they look pretty neat and nifty. Now I want to select the one underneath you. Boop, 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 boop. Ah, come on. Don't make me do it. How am I going to do this? Okay, so I could just do this. They have a whole new placeables. So let's go to here. Where are you at? You're right there. Okay, now can I select you? No. Okay, so I need to bring you to the front. You're now 100. No, I have to select you first. And, you know, that's a good idea. What if I... No, I can't do that now. Darn. Maybe I can. I don't have multiple edits. They just have this palette system now, which I kind of don't like, but let's see if this works for me. I haven't used this in a long time. Doesn't even have what I need for it, does it? Unless this is it? Say it's 3? If I were to say it's -1. That... I don't like that at all, actually. Because we need sort or elevation, not scroll. I need to add sort to this list. Yeah, they don't have sort on this, so that's actually not good. That's like the main reason I needed. Let's take you over here. You like that. you like that. There we go. I think that is good. Now let's add a little bit of campfires. Which ones do we need? We'll throw around a couple of these. So let's put some right here. Here. Put this one over here. 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 Get rid of those. Weapons you won't deal with yet. Backpacks, definitely can. We'll put them next to some of them. Things left behind. There. I think that's fine. Again, I really don't like how these... Bam, bam. Get the ones near the camps, I guess. Probably the best way to do them. Ah, yeah, I don't have... Do I have Bailiwiki still enabled? I do, but it doesn't work on this version, I don't think. Try to put each of these at 2. Would it... Oh, well, didn't want to do that. So it does work for each one of them. Nice. Okay. So... Let's say I want them at 20 instead. That... Interesting. Still didn't work because for some reason this backpack is at what? 14. Okay. I need you at 10. Perfect. Okay, now you won't be getting in my way anymore. Boop, boop. Boop. Oh, did I move the mountain? Did not want to move the mountain. There, I think that's good enough. Not gonna be looking too detailed at this. Let me put you sideways and you not sideways. That way I can copy perfectly where I want you. Oh, great. You. There. I can get rid of that. Get rid of that. I have a different color backpack. Don't worry about it. Get rid of the backpacks. Water pouches. Don't really need anymore now that I've mapped out my map a little bit. You 4 coming with me. I need 2 of these. Right here, right here. I need you. And I need another one of you. Sideways. Let's go with something like this. Assuming they were a camp and they didn't want to be ambushed on certain sides. Let's say they... This is more like a fortress now. A small fortress. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Get these rocks out the way for now. Whoa, that's weird. Whoa, it's even weirder. Yeah, just reselect all these rocks, I guess. Get to grab the edge. Oh, no. Okay. Deselect you. There. Okay. Let's do this the best way we can. Wish there was some kind of drawing tool for this stuff, but that's not in this version of Foundry. I think you can do that in Dungeon Draft, just not here. Or I could just be cheap and go to Incarnate. I think Incarnate can do this actually very well. Bam, 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 bam. I'm not going to have them be 100% accurate. I'm not going to have some type of huge lineup where I'm going to look at pixels. No, I'm just here to have fun. There. Perfect on that side. And we can not cheat, but we can try to cheat. Why'd you only paste one? Forgot to hit copy first, didn't I? There. I don't think this works like this, actually. Now that I think about it, I do not think this will work at all. Okay, bud. You're gonna go down to 10. You're also down to 10 now. Lose your rights. No longer on top. Yeah, I don't think that works like that in this version of Foundry. That actually kind of sucks. Version 14, why you take things away from me? Why you take things away from me? I don't like it. Also realized the music. You know, let's get some different music in here. Yeah, I turned off that. It should change on its own. God darn it, I don't want to grab you. Foundry 14, please. Have mercy on me. Probably actually remove these two. And so once we finish these barricades, we should be fine with mostly everything else. Let's start pasting a little bit. Copy pasting. I think I found out a new method of making this faster. Just keep copy and pasting every one we change the directions even slightly. That helps a lot with pacing. Zoom in here a little bit. Yeah, if they overlap, I'm not going to worry about it. There. Perfect. We have our camp. Look how beautiful it looks so far. We can get rid of these. And the reason I keep the small ones, because that's where the sacrifices are going to be placed. We're going to put a blood here and a blood here. And I don't think we need that. We will leave weapons next to them. They're weapons for, you know, sacred reasons. Like, hey, you're going to die, but, like, we're going to put the weapons near you. You can die with your weapons. We can leave a couple weapons behind because they wouldn't carry it all. Let's add a crossbow. Place another crossbow here and copy it the opposite direction. I think that's fine. Then a mace. We can put a mace here next to that crossbow. Turn it slightly. Copy it right here. Actually, I'd like one more crossbow. And that'll be here, facing the other direction. Probably players won't see this at all, but I don't care. I think it'd be nice to have a crossbow up here. Oh, wait. Can't even see it. 99. You're very important. There. Dagger. Kind of just put right here. I think that's fine. Okay, not looking bad. Definitely could use some improvements. Let's add these rocks now. These are the bread and butters. The problem is placing them. I am going to... Whoops. It's, again, one huge feature that I'd hope to see is rotation of rocks, of course. Just delete that. So I can place them down and it chooses a random rotation. If anyone knows a module like that, that would save me so much time. So let's just start placing these rocks around the map. kind of find an even spacing for them. That way you're not overcrowding the map with the too many rocks. And it would look pretty nice. So I think I'm done with these rocks. Leave all but one. Here's some sideways rocks. Let's put them facing the corners. Those would look very nice. Let's turn it. Start copying, pasting it. These facing corners probably look the best. Get rid of that. Yeah, I think that's fine. Move these out the way. This is just your standard rock. I'm going to have two directions for this. Bam. Bam. Actually, we'll turn that one slightly. Then we'll get the other one. Actually, you know what? We can have one more. There. Done with this rock. Don't have to use every rock. I do want some of these big rocks now. Put that in a little bit of each corner. That is fine. These really small rocks, I think we can get away with just kind of pasting a little bit of everywhere. Just try not to keep the focus on outside the screen. Easily being able to paste it pretty much anywhere. If we're going to place it in the camp, we need to be a little more strategical. Players will focus on this a lot more. So if we're going to place them here, we can't do something like that. We'd have to slightly turn it. And I think I can do that with bam, 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 bam. And I think add one here, add another there. And now we're adding a little bit more detail to the map. As you can see, it looks completely filled, or at least a little bit. I think we can go ahead and delete these three. Actually, we'll keep this one. Keep you as well. Keep you. You're basically the same thing. I'm going to keep you right there. Got rid of you. There's a lot of small ones, and I don't think I made these. And get rid of you. Okay. Then we just got this one right here. Get rid of it. Where do I want to put something like this? I could put it a little bit everywhere. It's kind of omni-shaped. Is that the right word? Probably not. It looks good pretty much any direction you're placing it. One of the few rocks it seems to be that's good that way. Might be over cluttering the map with too much rocks, but we'll see once we have the final product and we start skimming it down a little bit. Yeah, I think that looks fine for me. I can move you right about here. Okay, I think that looks good. You want this to be your focus with not too many rocks dead center of the screen. So you can kind of see this weird oval shaped rocks, but I don't notice it, and that's kind of good. Once you do notice it, it might look a little weird, but it kind of looks fine to me either way. Now we need to focus on drawing a walls. I am very not picky with walls, so you're about to see some devious work when I draw my walls. This is how I do my walls. I do not care what you think of my walls. I will draw them how I wish on this kind of terrain. Gonna go up. Okay, maybe I care a little bit. And I will just kind of go through this. Spamming click every few microseconds, nanoseconds. I don't know what you'd call it. And we're almost done. Perfect. Next, I don't care about the outside. The complete outside, I am actually not worried about at all. So, do I have an entrance of some kind I can put at these? Let's go double check. Probably, I do. Where is this? Okay. Copy link. Go back here. Here we go. Doesn't exactly match up, but we're not trying to be perfect, guys. And I could try maybe to make it match up a little bit better. I'm not trying exactly, but we'll see how it looks. Oof, no, okay. These are basically the same color. I don't think this matches at all. No. This. I just don't like how much you can see beyond it. No. Definitely something like this then. That's perfect. We'll just kind of put that in each entrance. And the players will have no clue that the colors don't match up too well. Perfect. And I guess we will draw a little line now. I'm going to make sure they kind of match up. Don't want a small piece of light to come through. There. That looks perfect to me. What's going on here? Let me reset the fog of war real quick. So what do you see? Why is that cut off? Is the map much smaller than I thought? 1 second. I could have messed up, but it's probably not a big deal, I hope. Why can't I select that? Again, new system. This is a tile, right? I don't care if it's locked. You should still be able to select it, right? Give me one memento. Why can't I? Let's do a refresh. The abandoned dwarf crate, let's activate it. Let's do a refresh. Probably should have copied and pasted, or copied the entire map layout. But we'll see how this goes for me. Come on. The foundry dead again? It was dead yesterday. Makes me worried. Okay, that's... Oh god, it is dead, isn't it? Oh, wait, no. Okay, I came back. So what's taking you so long? What has taketh you with longeth ith? That game's dead. That's what's taking so long. Come on. This is what I pay you for, Foundry. Forge, I guess, technically. Pay to load. Pay to load. 60, actually, almost $100 a year. Come on. I do the yearly subscription. I don't got time to be reminded of subscriptions every month. And I get paid, so. Okay, perfect. Okay, why are you blind? There we go. Just some kind of map error, I guess. I can see the whole map, except for that corner right there. Now I can basically see the whole map. This is perfect. I think this is all I need to see. Everything outside the map is no longer needed. This looks pretty nice. I think we are done. This will be a battle map. Or will it be a battle? Yeah, it'll be a battle map. I think I'm going to put gargoyles here. 2 gargoyles. Probably one going to be in this tent. They'll probably think there's only 1, but they'll mention 2. One's going to be wandering throughout the cave or throughout the area. Okay, I don't need to make you invisible. I think that is fine. I do need to adjust the light level now. I have a module that is better for adjusting light level, but I cannot seem to find it right now on this game. Let's go with that. It's going to get really dark now. Oh god, it's getting extremely dark. This is pretty much what I want. Let me see if I can find that module real quick. I really like the light adjusting module. I wonder what it's called. Not called light, day, simple contour, dark fantasy lights, blah blah blah. Always, this is most of my modules, by the way. We're gonna go down slowly, so feel free to take screenshots. Trying to see if I can find the one that I think would correlate with the light module. Let's see. Hmm. I do not. Splatter's a pretty good module. I should probably enable that anyways. Yeah, let's enable splatter. Power sort's no longer needed. Token notes. Torch? What does Torch do again? 1 second. We're gonna go see what Torch does. Toggle HUD button for stuff. That... Don't think it works the Crucible, so I'm not gonna enable it. Crucible already has their own stuff anyways. Looks good to me. Yeah, big yawn. I need to get my Roomba to run later. Oh, I got a big stretch. My bones. My bones are crying for help. Okay, what is the music doing? Let's look for something else while I'm here. Ambience. Oop. There, we're gonna get some hopeful music in. There we go. Okay. Oh, please get off my screen. This looks like a complete map to me. Let's move on to another map for this region. I'm going to call this the Crawler Ambush map. This one's going to be much simpler. So it wouldn't take me that long to complete it. And I think I'm fine with all this stuff. Global illumination enabled. Okay. We're going to be switching back and forth between the 2 maps because we're going to use 2 different textures. First, the cave stuff right here. Actually, I do not need to use that. I just need the floor, which for some reason I still cannot target. Why is that game? I know it's locked, but I should still be able to target my own gosh darn floor. You can get rid of these. Boop, boop, boop. What would make it impossible? Should be in placeables then, correct? Should be... Oh, here they are. Rock textures locked. Perfect. We're going to copy and paste it. That's all I needed from that. I'm actually going to make you smaller than normal as well. I am going to make you only, say, 1,500. Oh, yep. That's a little bit bigger than 1,500, don't you think? Here we go. And we can unlock this, please. Copy, paste. And we'll say 1,700 instead, because getting this even is more important to me, because dealing with the overlap is actually quite annoying. You'll understand once you're older. Sounds terrible. Okay. Let's do 7.5. I think that should be the correct size. Oh, forgot how that works. Oh, really? That's too big. Okay. Then we'll get you to be only 6,000 or 1,600. Ah, I guess 1,600 was the right call. Let's refresh it, because last time we didn't refresh it beforehand. A little bit of weird things happened. But now that we've changed the size, refreshing it's probably the right call. There we go. Okay. Now we just need to add some more cave stuff. Like I said, this is going to be a very simple one. There we go. Back to this. Okay. Let's add, I think a just diagonal cave. I think that's all I'm thinking. Nothing too complicated. Boop, boop, boop. Making sounds. Come on, rotate. Get rotated. And probably you. Like this is, you see the path? You see the path? It's glorious. Like I said, they won't really see much. So that's perfect for me. And let's get you a small one. Perfect. I think that is nearly complete. Don't need you again. Let's get something more different. Here we go. This fits perfectly. And we'll grab. Could be grab for this small little area. Come on. Work with me. There. I think that works pretty nicely, actually. Okay, let's draw wall placeables. Boop, 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 boop. Keep going. This one's going to be a little bit more close cut. I want to show off more of the map. That, because it's so small, getting around the very edges shows a little bit more of the map. But I have to be careful not to show the background, or it just looks a little sloppy. But no one's ever perfect, so don't need to be too picky. Boop, 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 boop. I'm even going off map a little bit just because it helps me just visualize how the map's going to go. There. So now if I place a character in here, this is what they'll see essentially, which I think is fine. They'll lead down to new roads. That looks good to me. Do I need to add rocks in here? I think it's so small, rocks would just clutter it. You know, I take that back. We're adding rocks. But really small rocks. Natural decor, I think. Rocks. Oh, that's 100. Probably a good start. I'm gonna put you. Take both of you away. Put you in that corner. You right here. Add a tiny bit of rocks. There's probably a better color in here, isn't there? There is, but I'm not too worried about it. If I really want to change all the colors, I can later. This would look better probably right here. Oh, take that back. Okay, how does this look? It does feel a little bit more cluttered. Take away you. Move you here. Feels a little bit more cluttered. Let's take you away and put you down here. I think that looks a lot better, although this is a little cluttery. Feel a little bit cluttered. I think this shouldn't take away from the main path. Because again, it doesn't look smooth as it is, so just less smooth just feels cluttered. At least in my opinion, the way I see things. Everyone has a different taste. I'm designing this to my taste, and hopefully my players like it. Okay, I think this is good. 4 players. They're going to be level 4 when they get in here. Carrion crawlers are level 3 that are elites. So I think we could put like 4 of them here. It is a little bit dangerous to put 4 of these because they have a special ability that's paralyzing tentacles. And they have 8 attacks, means they can do it twice. If they even hit once, it's kind of over. Target's paralyzed for 1 turn. Oof, there definitely should be like a save on top of that, in my opinion. Let's be a little careful. Let's actually make these normal. That way they can only do it once per each. I will look at the design later, but that seems right to me. That means they probably won't be able to move and use that move easily. So that is another map completely done. And next we'll have the Zorn map. That's an interesting one. I could do this many ways. It does seem like a map I would rather find because I want it to be full of gems and ores. It seems a little too hard for me to make. So probably finding one would be a better idea, and there's probably plenty of maps like it to find. Also 1 second. I look handsome today. Can we get a W in chat? Oh, that's my recording. Oh, there you go, streaming. Let's you know, this is a live stream about making stuff. Let's find a map together. So let's look up D&D battle map underground gems. Let's see what else. Let's see what comes up from this. We want some beautiful maps. Something that has lots of gems. I actually have used this map before. This might be, I'd say this is a perfect map, but I don't like that thing in the middle. This is why mostly I make my maps. I can make something like this, but I'd need that removed because it doesn't fit the kind of creature we're conveying. Uh, where is a map we can take? Taketh and useth. No, I want it to be purely something like this, but that has a grid. I actually want something gridless. That would be preferable because of how Crucibles works. We could use something like this. This looks very nice. Actually, never mind, I take that back. It is very nice, just not what I need. This could be it. It's a very good looking map. Doesn't have anything but except for environments. Has some gems over the place in some areas. It does have a grid though. Darn. This is one of the biggest problems of finding a map. If I type in gridless, I don't think that would help much, surprisingly, because people don't know how to do tags. This looks really nice, but it does have a grid, and it's oh wait, no, it has tons of jewels in it. I'll need gold. To reduce the workload, this actually looks really nice. I think this is the winner. By Travel Keldrick. Very nice. 40 by 30. This looks absolutely beautiful. Absolutely magnificent. We're taking this. We're going to put that in my Ventures, Crucibles, Never Ending Quest, Deep Below. We'll say Zorn, Hide, or Base. We'll just keep it simple. Now, the texture might not look that great. We'll see what happens when we actually put it in here. Zorn, Base. Go ahead and throw this in. Gotta find it first. There we go. All done. Grid. Levels. Where is it at? There you go. Turn that on. Wish there was a way to keep it on permanently, but I am not that experienced, I guess. Perfect. Okay, so how small can we make it? Gargoyles, is it too big? Oh, it's perfect size, too. Oh my god, that is absolutely magnificent. Okay, so Zorn be in here. How big are Zorns? They should be much bigger than 4. How big are gargoyles? Bigger cabin crawlers. 6. I think I can make you a 6. I think that's fine. I think 6 is fine for players. I don't know how big Zorns are normally. Let's check it out. Zorn, that's corn. Actually, are they in Pathfinder? They are in Pathfinder. They just look a lot weirder. They are medium creatures normally? Interesting. What about D&D? D&D is the one I took from, essentially. They are medium. They're still medium. Interesting. Maybe that is the correct size for them. I want this to be a little bit bigger. Let's just make it a little bit bigger. That way it looks bigger than a player, but not necessarily too much more HP. With 186 at level 7 compared to 120 at level 6. The difference is elite and boss. A normal HP, elite. This is a boss, so elite HP would look at 120, so it's only a 20 more HP-ish. Okay. We have this. I would throw around a little bit more gems, but nah, let's not do that. So I'm going to draw a little bit of light because I think if these things came off with a little bit light, that'd be kind of fun. So let's do 2020. Not shining that much light. We will not do a torch light. Instead, we would just color it the blue. See if it wants to assign its own color. It does. Perfect. Paste that around the map. A little bit too much. Maybe double pasting it's a little too much. Why is it so much brighter? I guess just different textures. There. That looks pretty nice. We'll even make the map a lot darker. And go. Get dark. Perfect. I think that is dark as it gets, maybe. Got the light textures. Players can only see what is inside, I'm pretty sure. They'll be able to see the whole map, which I think I'm fine with. It does add a little bit of coolness to see the map slowly get unveiled. So let's add a little bit of map. Let me turn on the sun real quick. There. Okay. See the lights be turned off. There. Okay. We'll turn the light back off. And we'll have the token start here. Make their way into the light. Unveiling it in front of their eyes. Which I think is really cool. Also, being enclosed in such a space, because you can't be able to see the rest of the map, gives a sense of unknown. Unknownness? Mystery, fear, the unknown. Allows them to let their mind race a little bit for your players. You should never talk this much on a topic, because I feel like I'm very inexperienced, but like with D&D, I feel like I'm super experienced, but, you know, it's just me. Now that we got each map for the Deep Below filled, we have our quest, we have our written down instructions of what we can do, we have our improv we're going to have to do once to actually play the quest. I think we are good for the Deep Below. I didn't think I'd finish it that fast. Is there no way to generate an image? Huh. Spawn is preset. Interesting. Never seen these options before. But that seems good to me. I don't like how there's no image on these. There's usually something called generate an image, but maybe it's a module that I don't have anymore right now. Either way, I think this is very nice. Too bad these guys don't get player vision. There's probably a way to do that. I'm just not interested in it. Got the crypts, got the goblin cave, the Deep Below, 3 area maps. This would be like 4 area maps if I redid it. But since I built this cave already, I'm just going to drag the player's theater of mind to different scenarios once I actually have them. I'm not going to make them walk through this entire cave. But no, I just realized it's 1:36. I am basically have to go to work soon. But look how much we've achieved. Especially with this Dwarven Abandoned map. That probably took the most time, but it looks great. Look at it. It looks great. I love this Dwarven map I've made. I'm probably going to be reusing this a lot. Maybe a Zugaloth camp map for my Warrens of Gosha. As well as I could probably make something similar based off what I have now with the player's home base in the Warrens of Gosha. But no, that is pretty much it. I will probably stream again tomorrow. Maybe we might continue into the town in danger of the dragon. We'll be building a dragon cave, probably. I think that'd be pretty nice. Probably map it out. I'll probably draw some MS Paint type bullshit just to help us visualize what this dragon cave is like, and then we'll have the players kind of explore it. Either way, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.